Hello friends and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're going to be checking out something called You Fell Into a Pit by developer AWS Security. This is a very simple procedurally generated platformer that was developed in 48 hours for the Random World Jam. Essentially has our character who has fallen into a pit and kind of appropriated a little ghost costume to try and fool the other ghosts that might be down in this pit, surviving as long as possible, collecting some power-ups and trying to just do our best not to land on spikes and such. So why don't we just get right into things. There's not a whole lot in the way of controls to get out of the way. We've just got left and right to go left and right, space for jump, and shift for dash. This is a little bit of a Unity game, not a little bit, it is entirely a Unity game, and will feature us doing a strange little maneuver that I've figured out how to do in most Unity games, where it's something to do with the collision seems to cause our character to kind of like bounce over edges, and because of physics interaction, you can kind of just bounce higher into the air than you're probably meant to. So this is just kind of me holding shift. So I'm already teaching you ways to break the game. I haven't shown you what the game is really yet. That's just my way, isn't it? So we've got our little ghost character, and we're going to jump over spikes. We're going to look for big black doors, which happen to kind of blend a little bit into the background, but maybe that's just due to the incredibly prevalent shadows everywhere. And we're just going to try and watch our health here, because as you can see, it shows the 3 every time, and then as we take damage, that's actually persistent from level to level, but there are power-ups that'll restore that for us eventually. Not sure why they went for, showing us the UI just occasionally over our character. I'd probably prefer that it would have been just like down at the bottom. It's also kind of feels like a misnomer to me that it shows hearts, because hearts implies that they're like hit points, which I would assume maybe would reset every level, whereas lives are more persistent, and lives seem to be what we're actually dealing with here, because they don't come back until you get stuff that gives them back. Alright, so that's a boot power-up, that's plus 10 to speed. I don't really feel any faster when I'm walking, so I'm going to assume that's just like longer dash range or something like that. Not that it's a major concern one way or the other. By the way, I think there might be branching paths to these levels. I think if you fall down in the pit, there might be more to see, and also more danger perhaps. Oh, let's dodge that. Plus 0.25 to dash time. Oh, okay. So that's actually exactly the thing that I said it was. Speed is probably just in general then. Ghost is kind of following me. It's kind of a goofy ghost. I wonder if it's attracted to me because I'm wearing a ghost costume, and in fact, like, the player thought it was disguising him or herself from the ghost, but in fact was attracting them. So maybe a little funny if that was the way things turned out. Oh no, I've fallen. Well, it's okay. There's not really any fall damage in this, so thankfully it's not too worrisome. Just bounce over all these spikes here and right into the door. We're on level 9 with full health so far. I haven't found any like health ups or power ups for that yet, which is maybe a little discouraging. Ah, there's our first damage. Let's just not do that again. I may have actually taken a second round there. I'm not sure if the iframes lasted long enough. Oh god, the ghost is on my tail! Let's fall down here. The ghost will never chase me down. It's actually kind of neat that you can get away from the ghost by going down into the pits like that. Oh, alright. Ghost just went through the wall, which is good for me. Okay, so it shows that we're down to 2 health now. Let's see if we can discover either a +1 back to our health currently, or maybe a permanent health up, which do actually exist. They come in the form of gray hearts. Now we've got to watch out for this weird lard monster over here that's going to kind of spew bullets in every direction. Oh god, my dash didn't work. I don't know if I took damage there. I think I landed on it, but I don't think it hurt me necessarily, so I'm not sure what that's all about. Yep, did not take damage, so we're actually fine. This is almost the furthest I've made it. I almost made it to that door, but it just happened to fall, unfortunately. We can actually go down another level, but I'll just opt to go in here. It would be kind of neat, actually, if there was, like, another route we could go. Instead of just going straight to the goal, we could go to, like, alternative exits, sort of like in Super Mario World or something, that would take us to a different realm, eventually, if we keep going down the wrong way. Which could then sort of lead us to a whole story or something to this, because honestly, this is just sort of a lighthearted, casual, fun little platformer. You don't have to overthink it too much. The general way that this delivered, though, is quite fun and simple, and I think there's nothing wrong with that. Every now and then, I like to play a game that's kind of therapeutically easy in this way, and, well, not that it's necessarily completely easy, it does get more challenging as the levels get longer, but the premise is so simple that really, you'll get it right away. There's not a whole lot to this that's going to take you a long-term time to kind of strategize and wrap your mind around. You'll pretty much just get this right away. So we're at level 17. This is definitely the furthest I've made it so far. Let's see if we can make it to level 20. I think I can pull it off. I'd like to see more obstacles and, various perils that we might face in the way, as well as maybe like a light power-up that could maybe increase our general light ups because, well, not that it's too huge of a problem. I've kind of gotten away with it this far, but I can imagine that it might be kind of nice to run in. Oh, I got stuck on that pillar, and then I kind of just bounced right onto that spike. That's, you know, sloppy play from me there. The light seems way more green in this area, doesn't it? What's up with that? Anyway, I mean, I probably don't need to go on for too long about this game, because I think you probably get the idea. But I did really enjoy playing this, and I think if there was more added to it, you know, more areas, more music, more obstacles, and maybe even more power-ups. By the way, the ghost does go away if it runs into you, so it can't just chase you down and kill you in one move, which is kind of a nice balance thought, I think. But if all of those things were added, I could see this easily being something that I could spend some time with, especially because it sort of has that Cloudberry Kingdom essence of, like, well, how far can you make it? Maybe put a leaderboard in. And, well, I guess the fact that all the levels are randomly generated kind of does change that a little bit of how you can compare against your friends. But at the same time, Cloudberry Kingdom did the same thing, and it was plenty of fun to just see if you could just keep up with each other regardless. Especially since the controls are so simple, too. There's not really a lot that you have to really try super hard to understand. It's just ready for you to figure out. You just go and you play, and you do your best. Now, despite that it's that simple, I still don't think this would necessarily work very well on something like a mobile platform. Well, even though there's only really 2 buttons here, aside from left and right, that's still too many buttons, I think, for most mobile scenarios. I know people have tried a lot of different options, but any kind of really granular platforming is just usually too frustrating in that situation. But I feel like the gameplay itself is generally geared to something like that. I think there needs to be a better way to control these things. Maybe one day there'll be a perfect solution, or some kind of like iPhone that has control sticks and a D-pad on it, but I don't see that really fitting. I don't know where they would put them. There's not enough space on it, and plus, well, it kind of negates the whole concept of it all being a touchscreen, doesn't it? But, you know, they've tried it in the past. They had that PlayStation phone that didn't really work out very well. It had a whole, like, flip-out thing with the D-pad and the buttons, and, well, it was elegant execution, but I think ultimately it didn't have the user base that was necessary to keep it going. Anyway, I've gotten off on quite the tangent here. I like this game. You fell into a pit, nice and simple. Nothing really beyond that. But yeah, I'd encourage if the developer wants to pursue putting more time into this. It's honestly pretty good for 48 hours. It looks lovely, it's charming, it's cute, it's got enough depth to it that it actually has kept my interest for more than 15 minutes, so, you know, all in all, thumbs up on this one. Go try You Fell Into a Pit, see how many levels you can get past. Maybe you'll get super lucky and you'll have a bunch of easy levels in a row. I don't know, it's the nature of randomly generated games, right? Sometimes they're extra easy, sometimes they're extra hard, but ultimately, you can power through it by playing a lot. And I know it looks like I'm making really dumb mistakes, but occasionally the controls just get the best of me with their floaty nature. Again, that's sort of a quirk of the Unity engine, isn't it? How that kind of plays out with the collision. Getting more of these lard monsters. Man, I just wandered right into those bullets. Well, serves me right. Anyway, that's going to do it, guys. Again, leave me a comment, let you know what you think of this one. If you have any great records, feel free to chime in with that as well. Or anything you would do to change or improve, or just in general, critique is always welcome in the comments. I do still read all of them, too. So let me know what you think. And, of course, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, because that helps me out as well. Keeps the series going with positive momentum. Be sure to come back again tomorrow. New episodes of Indie Impressions go up every single day. So if you like what you see here today, come back again later, and there will be more. So thanks, everybody, for watching. Hope you have a fantastic night. Talk to you all later.